All right, hey guys, welcome back. Kid here, Burn One Shadowverse Evolved channel, joined once again with my good buddies Shepard and Pressure. You both want to say hi?
Howdy.
Howdy.
All right, we're gonna just get right into it. No time to fool around. Rating key. If this is the first time you're watching this, this is how we rate their cards. Moving on to the first card, Kagemitsu, Matchless Blade, 1-drop, 1/1 rush fanfare. Give this flower plus X, where X equals the number of face-up evolved flowers in your evolved deck. If X is at least 3, give this flower a sell. If X is at least 7, give this flower the following effect: strike, refresh this flower. This ability can be activated once per turn. So we live in this Christmas dreamland. I just realized I forgot to put the names on this one, but whatever. Everyone knows where we are. Christmas Dreamland, where we evolve everything in our deck. We play the Storm card that gives us Storm, and then we just start swinging it in like crazy with this guy to do like 20 some damage. Christmas Dreamland for me there. Outside of that, I think this card is like not horrible or anything. Oh, thank you.
I think it's horrible.
You think so?
I think there's a complete bait. Like, okay, think realistically. Like, what are the early game drops you're going to be evolving? So this guy comes down at least like a 1-mana 3/3 with a sale, 1-mana 4/4 with a sale. Because you have to play bad cards like, I mean, this is the best of these cards that I don't think are playable.
Mhm.
Maid Leader, Quick Blader, I guess maybe. Oathless Knight. We're getting really deep in here. Like what are the early game evos that you're going to be doing? And then you also have the problem where with those type of cards, like the way Evo decks are constructed is you have like 4 to 5 cards in the main deck, maybe 6 that can evolve, and those that you take up multiple copies in the evolved deck, right? So for this card to work, you have to see multiple copies of the card, or you're playing a suboptimal deck. Or you could play like bad cards like Reina or cards that flip stuff over. I think there's a card that flips things over in the neutral, flip Evo cards. That's what I'm talking about
Mhm.
in the neutrals. But I don't know, and the payoff sucks. It doesn't even gain Storm. Like that was the whole point.
In digital, yeah. But
okay, I think you're wrong about one thing about the suboptimal deck thing, because like if you're picking this craft, you're playing a suboptimal deck.
True,
Sword, like
yeah.
hot take, like Sword is like probably the most unplayable.
Do not say that, because you know there are going to be some menaces that come up to LAX and just vomit on the field, and you just have no answer. Like
I mean,
there's gonna be some.
It's true. Like Sword's
happening.
gonna win games, but like that's the thing with the American meta, is part of the reason why Sword shows up in like random tops and stuff in a lot of these sets where we've said it's not that good, is it's just so overrepresented compared to how it is in JP. Like people just love Sword. A lot of people play Sword. A lot of them high roll. A lot of players suck. But like I don't know. I haven't seen anything that's convinced me Sword is a craft worth looking at this set. So that's sorry, that's gonna set the tone for the rest of this review.
I don't think there's a reason to play Sword when Fairy exists, or even Aggro Abyss. Like I think for sure you choose those two over that, because there's nothing. Sword has no tools that those two don't, except for heroic entry. And then I don't know. Sure,
it's like everybody, all the control decks teching to beat these aggro decks are, and you're gonna pick like, do you want to be the worst aggro deck that's gonna die to Fairy Dragon, or do you want to die to the control decks that are teching to beat the decks that are better than you? You know, there's no winning play unless you're in the Sword mirror.
That is a fancy F. I don't know. I like this card. I kind of see it more as like a 1-cost removal, but maybe that's like not the best way to be looking at this card. I think sometimes like you occasionally might get the sell, but I feel like mid to late game, this is just like, oh, I play this. I have this 1-drop rush that's like a 5/5 or a 6/6 that can kind of clear something out for my board to get through. At least that's what I feel like. Maybe I'm in the Christmas dreamland here when it comes to that. I think it's also really cute. I don't think you should be doing this, but this can be pulled out by Mars. So when you evolve Mars, at least that gets +1/+1 to it as well, +1 attack on top of that. But yeah. Oh wait, no, you only need 3 to get a sell, right? So I really do feel like this is for some reason I thought it was 7 for a second. I do feel like this is just like a 1-cost removal when you get to like the mid to late game, but maybe I'm misreading that completely.
Well, the issue for me is that this isn't a dragon card. Even dragon's not the right class, but this isn't in a class that has 5 to 6 cards in hand and can just be wasting deck slots and hand space for a 1 mana removal that you have to complete the quest for it to be good.
I mean, this is also my thing is this. So you look at your deck, you're building your aggro deck, and you're filling out all your 1-drops, and you have this faction where you have access to infinite goblins for your 1 slot. Why would you ever in your aggro strategy forego a goblin for this 1/1 value card?
It's kind of the same reason like I play 2 of, like, this would be like a 2 of in my head. Instead of playing like Unbridled Fury, we'd play this. But maybe
Well, you're
I'm
not playing up, I mean,
I know. Yeah. But I'm just saying in that sense. But I think we kind of all said what we can about this card. We'll just move on here because I want to keep this less than an hour, unlike our Forest one.
Right.
Round me a Sonic Racer, 2 mana 3/2, Evo for 3. This follower costs 1 less play point to evolve for each other follower on your field. Has Rush. On evolve, it gains Storm. And then also on evolve, you can pay 3 play points. Give this follower +X/+X. X equals the number of other followers on your field. This to me is the most skilled card in the entire game. This is so hard to use. It's going to really, when you win with this card, you're going to feel like, man, I'm such a good Shadowverse player.
All right. I very much like this card. Whoops. I'm going to delete your... Oh my God, I can't. There we go. Oh my God. But yeah, I very much like this card too. I think it's a really powerful card.
Like this card. I hate this card. No, I mean it's good. It's insane, but I hate this card. It's like the least skilled card. I was joking. I was being sarcastic.
I think this card is I think this card's good. I think it's a shame that the deck around it doesn't come together. But this is the card that they're gonna high roll you with.
You guys want this card to be good?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
no,
the
this is a
card
card
is
that's
good
like,
now, but I don't want it to be.
Yeah.
This is like the card that's like, oh, you stumbled against Sword. Well, now we close the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Super skilled gameplay.
You'll be seeing this in like every deck as a 3-of. Let's be honest.
I mean, I don't know.
Insane sword card, yeah.
I intentionally don't look at the JP meta until the set's about to come out because I like to get the fresh dopamine. But Press, tell me if I'm wrong. There's no way this card does not get C play for like at least 3 sets, right?
It's the Dragon Oracle of Swords.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was like, I don't know what the meta looks like where this gets power crept, unless the meta is just where you're not playing any aggro. But even if you're playing non-aggro, this card's still like, I don't know. This card shouldn't exist. Let's move on.
It should not exist.
All right. Shepherd.
This is Steadfast Samurai. It's a 1 mana 1/1, and it has the effect that it does not take combat damage, and you can activate for two play points. You don't have to engage it, and it gets +1/+1 in Rush. So it's a 1 mana 1/1. Two play points can give it +1/+1.
My only question is, can I do what I did in Digital, where I gave this guy Aura and Ward, and then my opponent couldn't win?
You give it Aura.
I was about to say, Crush.
There's no neutral ward yet.
Is this the guy that your Armor of Stars to get him?
For sure, yeah. I think definitely look out for people talking, because that deck was only an unlimited. That was only
I only played it in unlimited.
I was gonna say look out for But anyway, this is the Armor of the Stars card. It's still just like not good enough.
I mean, if they do it, they do it. But like,
exactly, if they do it, they do it, and it's like they still have to pay a lot of mana to pop off, right? Because it's like, okay, you go turn 1, you play this, or no, you probably go like turn 3, you play this in armor, so you're a 2/3, and then you hope they don't have like the book, or wait. So how would Bane work with this?
Bane should kill it.
Bane only cares about the combat. It doesn't care about any damage being dealt.
Yeah.
Didn't we look this up one time with Kaguya or something?
Yeah. It's literally as long as it's in combat, there could be no damage changed between both followers. It will still activate Bane.
Yeah, so this card sucks. Yeah, it's not a good card. Even if you hit the whole thing, it's like. Yeah.
I mean, it's also that people play. People play other things to deal with it. It's just silly. And the truth is, even if you don't have a way to Bane it out, and like they get off the combo, you're still killing most decks slower than they're killing you, right? Like if you go turn 1 Armor of the Stars, turn 1 this, turn 2 Armor of the Stars, turn 3 activate, and do something else with your third play point. Sanguine's going to kill you faster. What's it called? It's going to kill you faster.
That Forest.
Forest is going to kill you faster. Egg is going to kill you faster. Like, you just don't. You represent a really like elegant threat, but you don't actually have a clock, and you don't have any disruption to stop your opponent's game plan because you're in sword.
Yeah, so this is a Glory Finder card out of 10. Let's go.
What is Glory Finder?
Glory Finder is the meme format where it's like Commander.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, late night. All right.
It's already hard enough to get people to play single player standard. I don't know.
Exactly.
All right, we got here a chunky boy, 7-drop, 6/10, Hero of Antiquity, evolved for 1, has Rush Aura. This follower can't be destroyed by or banished by effects. It can still be destroyed by damage. On the evolve side, it still has Aura. This follower can't be destroyed by banished or destroyed or banished by effects. On evolve, select an enemy follower on the field and destroy it. If its original costs at least 6 play points, banish it instead. And it's an officer traded card.
I like this card a lot.
This guy's a chunky boy, man. Oh my god, how do you just remove this thing once it comes out?
He's pretty sick. I think all the Magna Legacy gamers are gonna go like, let's go Hero of Antiquity, control sword.
Mm-hmm.
I like really unironically like this card a lot. I think that I just wish Sword would get a couple more tools for a control deck to work. And this is like the guy. This is like the Aegis almost,
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not. There's just not enough there yet, and never really gets there. But Sword's problem has always been its removal and its interaction, and there's just not enough of it in the early game to get to the late game where this card is pretty sick.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is mid range and control. I mean, mostly control. Any sword deck that's trying to go along has run into the same problem for a long time, where like it's never been a lack of access to value generating game winning 5, 6, 7, 8 drops. It's always been that if you're on that strategy, it's difficult to get there. This is just this is the latest version. It's really, really a powerful card. If this is your game plan to win, like you're gonna have a hard time getting here because, like we mentioned before, you're just not gonna have the tools to fight off Abyss or Forest. Or even potentially aggro sword swinging into you. So.
Yeah.
That said, I think this card on its face is really good. So I think I'm going to rate it highly because I think if you're playing sword, you're going to be thinking about it. I don't know if it's a B or an A. Like, it's hard because 7 is a lot.
I think it's a C because you're 3 turns out after like you lost the game. Like you're just not getting to 7 or 8.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a B because I think consider it, but also don't consider playing sword.
I think they should play sword.
Yeah, they should, just for the showdown. Thank you. All right, moving on here.
Courtly Dance. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. From among them, you may put any number of Swordcraft followers that originally cost 3 or less play points, totaling up to 7 play points onto your field. Put the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. This is a really, really good sword card. This is probably the best sword card in this set. And it's one of those just new things to not even build around, but just like finally Sword has like access to like a card that generates value from just one hand size. Because I feel like Swords, outside of like Leonidas, Sword just has the issue of like you just have to play like 3 cards down to be doing stuff,
Yeah.
And this card lets you go, okay, 1 card out of my hand, and here's like a turn, which I really like.
I agree. I think if I'm gonna play Sword this set, I would recommend the Courtly Dance aggro deck. I'm not gonna play it, but it's a lot of value. And then I gotta mention, of course, the Magical Dreamland. Not that you would play these cards in this deck. Is you get Romeo and Juliet off of it. You win the game. You just say, I did it. You quit Shadowverse forever.
Romeo and Juliet's not even that like good off of it. Really.
No, it's just, dude, you get it. What do you mean? You get Romeo and Juliet. You get the moral victory.
The moral victory. I love it.
This card is part of why I think the next card is going to be played a lot in this set, is because you just want to rip it off of it.
Whoa, okay, hold on. Well, let me talk about
That's
this guy
spicy,
more.
but all right, let's
Yeah,
move
I'm
on to
like,
the next
I don't
card.
understand. No.
What?
Wait. I do want to talk about because I think this card is also just good in any sword card. Even like for some reason, I mean, I understand sort of why, but usurpation just completely drops off
No,
the table in this set, and I think that really shocked about that because it's like yeah, it fuels Kuon, but every other deck I think it has a pretty good matchup
oh,
into.
sorry. I
And I
think I
think
might have misspoke. I'm not saying the next. I'm saying the next card. This makes the next card better, not the inverse. I'm saying this boosts a lot of the 3 drops and that you want to play because you have
okay.
to you want to cut
Okay,
them
yeah.
over the other cards.
And like if you do this and you get like um the 3-drop Storm, Octrus, and the new 2-drop for Usurpation, that's an insane turn for one card, and you get a lot of value. You're doing a lot of things, and I actually really like this card for Usurpation. And I honestly like, if I were to play a sword deck, I'd probably play Octrus and Usurpation, not aggro. But yeah, now we can go to the next card.
Yeah. Also, this Mock Knight gets Storm off of this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Got to call that out.
My favorite card of all time.
Next drop is Quick Draw Maven. It's a 3-cost follower. It's a 3/3. It has Evolve for 1. That's it. On the Evo side, it buffs to a 4/4, and it has discard a card on Evolve, and then you get to select an enemy follower and deal it 5 damage. I hate going -1 card in Sword, but I think obviously this is like a super powerful effect, especially if you're playing the Courtly Dance strategy, because you can bring it down, Evo point, kill something, and I think having that ability in aggro is really nice.
But by turn 6, don't you just want to kill them in aggro? Don't you just
Yeah,
wanna
you use it to kill the ward.
Are there gonna be? I guess the
Get
fairy
things out of the way.
dragon.
I mean, I don't know. I
Yeah.
kill Fairy Dragon, you kill other things. That said, like, I don't know. It's hard for me to rate it too highly because I hate going -1, but it is good.
It's one of those weird things where it's like, okay, you are basically making a card in your hand 2 damage, because every class now besides sword has gotten like a dragon warrior basically. So you're basically going that 2 extra damage. And is that better than the card in your hand? Probably yes, because sword cards suck. It probably is. And but yeah, just going minus hand size in the sword is so bad. I also just wish it did something other than that. Like it I don't know. I had Bane or something, because my issue with it is it's just dies to Surefire, and that's every Evo 3-drop, but you're spending 2 cards to die to Surefire, which I really don't like. I don't know. I don't think this card is that good, but it's going to be played because you need to drag.
You need to have a
someone has
density of
no.
you need to have a density of 3s for Courtly Dance.
I don't
And
really
also you
agree
need
with
a
that, to be honest.
well,
I think you have yeah, even in set 1, Sword had too many 3-drops. I think there's 5.
yeah, but you have a
3-drops
yeah,
that are
but you need to hit a density of like, I think this is better than a lot of the random 3s that you have in set 1. But I will say it's interesting that you mentioned this is +2 damage for a card. The way I read this card, because obviously they don't have access to things like Dragon Warrior. I mean, they have access to the neutral one. Is this turns a card in your hand into 1 mana, deal 5 to a follower. That's like the only reason why it's not the most painful thing in the world. But then you get stuck with this understated card.
I mean, it fuels Jerry, so
It does feel Jerry.
I think I want to give this. I don't want to give this a B- because I don't like how powerful it is, but I do think it's going to be considered in like, I don't know. This is always going to be, if not in your deck, like around there on the chopping block for sword this set. If you're choosing to play sword for some reason.
I'm gonna give it D. I think there's just way better. I think in aggro there's way better 3-drops to be playing, and I think in mid range, you already have too high of a density of 3-drops. And it's also like off the Courtly Dance, you have to have an Evo point or you have to either be going second, so you already lost, or you have to be on turn 7. and then it makes the Courtly Dance worse. The reason the Courtly Dance is good is because it's 1 mana, or sorry, 1 card in your hand, do something. You're changing that to 2 cards in your hand do something, which Sword already does anyway. So yeah, I think this card is going to be played, but I don't think it's gonna be. It's just gonna be out of necessity and sort of shows why Sword is awful.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, just going off the rubric, that's why I think I'm putting it in C plus. Where it's average, should see play. I don't think it's going to be niche.
I think the biggest sell for me is this, like, is the 5 damage is what's needed in this meta to like remove a specific target into some overplayed deck. Like, is it fairy? If this is this your answer to Fairy Dragon? I don't know, but like, to me, it just doesn't seem like super powerful enough until it gets to the point where I'm like, okay, I need to have an answer on 3 that deals 5 going second. Then this card is probably very much willing to like look at that card then a lot more.
I can't wait for the discussion of should we play Trail of Light and Sword.
You will when we get to my boy Spartacus, but
well, technically it's set 6 or set 7. You do,
yeah.
So, Natura.
All right, next card here. Twin Sword Master, 2-drop 1/3, has strike, refresh as far as ability can activate once per turn.
Look how they massacred my boy.
What did he do in
Literally,
digital?
my boy. He was a 2-mana 2/2. When something else evolves, evo this card, and it was a 3/3 that could attack twice.
Damn, that sounds sick. I want to go to play digital. Let's bring that card over.
This card says strike, it dies, and it doesn't get to attack again.
Hold on, let me make sure that's what was it a 4/4? It might have evoed to a 4/4.
This is a 2-drop that dies to Goblin. It trades with Goblin.
Yeah, if an allied commander card is in play, gain the ability to evolve for 0 play points. So you play Leisha, play this, evo this, and then you'd have a crazy Leisha turn right before she rotated out.
All right, let's look at one of the contender for the worst card ever printed.
Unironically, or you mean that for real? This card?
Yeah.
Oh, I completely disagree. Great acquisition, 1 mana, quick. Put the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck into their graveyard. I think this card's insane. You don't think you think this card is one of the worst cards made?
I think it's dog water.
Okay, that's really shocking. I think this is really strong support for Octrus. Really strong. I think this is actually insane support for Octrus. 3 is a lot. Like 3 is 2 to 3 different mill cards already, you know. And you get to your quest real fast if you get 3. And there's not a ton because you're already like, you know, you already like have a bad matchup into Kuan because you're fueling their, you know, thing. But almost every other deck doesn't care about stuff in the graveyard.
I just think it's a card that it's not giving you the value of a card, like of the card that you drew and then spent the mana to play. Yeah, just it's there. I don't think bust. I don't know. Maybe I'm coming at this from too much of like a lens from other games. Like I would need you to show me how much this boosts the synergy of Thief.
Yeah, I'm in. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No. You go ahead.
I mean, I'm in the same boat as Shepard, but this might just be biased from coming other card games as well. Like in my head, I'm like, it would be really sick if like turn 1 I played the 1-drop Goblin, and then 2 of these on turn 2 and swing. that would be insane. But I definitely would need to see more of like how this card functions in the whole Thief archetype and how much it actually like accelerates the game state for you for it to be like a great like tool. Like I can agree, obviously this was built to support thieves. I just need to see it because I'm pretty much in the same camp as Shepard where I don't think this is just worth the value of one card essentially.
I think so. I think there's a couple things. I think number one, and I don't know if you guys are assuming this from last set, but this is just what I saw. Last set I saw a lot of the usurpation deck being an aggro deck. I don't think that's like the optimal way to play it. And obviously you wouldn't play this card in an aggro thief deck or usurpation deck or whatever. That's number one. Number two, I think even in this game's history, not even going riding my dinosaur into digital, this game we've seen multiple cards that are just exist to excel a game plan. Trail of Light. I hate Trail of Light. I think that card sucks, but you have to play it. Hand in hand, Dracomancer's Rights. I think that card sucks, but you have to play it, and when you pop off, it's really good. I think that's exactly how this card is. I think it's better in this case because it only costs 1 mana, and it's an immediate like, okay, we just skipped like 2 requirements of cards I need to see. Like we just skipped the necessity for finding the first Octress that's not going to have an effect and the 1-drop. Now when we get the first Octress, we can play it for the effect, for example, right? And I just think this is going to make those cards way more consistent. And as we said last set, I think those cards are insane. Like if Octress comes down and Evos for free pretty early, like turn 3 or 4, it's gonna be pretty wild, you know. And again, like you mentioned, you can just have a high roll of, you know, play the 1-drop, play 2 and 2. You know, that's pretty sick.
Yeah,
But that's not what
any removal spell 3 for 1/2.
Listen, in my Magic Christmas Slam, my opponent is this training dummy. I get a punch in the face. All right.
I think this is just gonna be a show me card. Like Prussia, come beat me with this card. That's like the only way I think.
I don't know. I just think like
like to me, like my theory is this: for this to be good, it has to generate at least 1 card's worth of value from the other thief cards, and that's like to break even on having spent the card and the mana. So I would have to see how consistently it can do that, and then that would be like, okay, it's not enough, it's like a little bit better, and then how consistently it can get more value.
All right.
but it's I don't know. It's surprising that I mean, yeah, that's fine. But I'm surprised you guys like hate this card so much, and like because you have to say the exact same stuff about Trail of Light then.
No,
because this is the same card.
No, Trail of Light says draw a card
for 2 mana.
Yeah, but it says draw a card.
This says draw a card too. Once you hit everything else.
That's more text. That's a big if.
That's how Trail of Light is, though. Once you hit the thing,
oh, you can pay 2 mana and draw a card. I don't know.
Yeah, but then you lose the fucking game.
Hey, I've won a lot of games where I've cast Trail of Light. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. You don't want to do it, but it's not. You don't instantly lose. I mean, maybe you do now. It's set 6, but let's move on because like I think this is not.
I think one thing to note is kind of cute about this card though. In the Thief package, because it has the quick text, it is a combat trick when someone swings into your goblin and they think their goblin's gonna live. Or sorry, they're like 4/4 is gonna remove the goblin and still live, and you're just like, yeah. I respond Grand Acquisition, and now my goblin is a 5/2 into your 4/4, and we trade for. Yeah, I think that's kind of funny. Obviously, that's not something that's going to happen too often. I'm kind of still in the Shepherd game camp here. I'm definitely like, I don't think this card is like completely F. I think it has its place in Thief. I just don't think it's as powerful as Precious selling it. But I mean, like literally, I could be completely wrong. Tomorrow, Pressure plays me and I get blown out, and I'm like, okay, I can see the power level. But yeah, let's move on here.
All right, this is a 2-drop follower called Samurai Outlaw. It has a 3 attack and 2 health, and it has Evolve for 4, and it becomes a 6/5 on the other side. So nothing but stats. You know, I was just thinking what we really need at this point in the game is
more stats.
Is a weirder fighter. You know, yeah, the numbers are just not good on this.
I think if you want a card like this, you just play Grimnir.
I agree.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
All right, let's just move on. I think we're in agreement here. Adept Thief, 2-drop 3/2. Fanfare, choose one of the following. Put the top card of your opponent's deck into their cemetery, or draw a card, then discard a card. More Thief support. Go ahead.
I mean, I think this card's good, but I mean, you know, I think this card's actually really good.
Which mode?
Both of them.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to see how it plays. Like this, I mean, I like this more than the 1-drop because this has numbers.
I like this card a lot too. I definitely am rating it higher than the 1-drop. Extra Thief support and everything. I think both modes are just good. So definitely willing to at least give it a C.
I might give it a C+. I'm gonna give it a C. I'm not gonna let Prussia's lies distract me.
Don't believe his lies, Shepard. All right, moving on.
Pedalwink Paladin, 6 mana 5/5 fanfare. Select an enemy follower on the field and destroy it. Draw a card. Sick like open 8 or whatever, but now there's no reason to play open 8. So I don't know. I mean, 6 mana. You lost the game already. So
This is a 6 at 1 Haven card.
True.
can't give it enough. It says draw a card, Shepard.
True, Shepard. We're calling you out here. It has draw a card. Give it an F plus.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
The worst part about this not having like the mana system of a game like Magic is sometimes people in Magic, when they play a really bad card, you just say like, hey, you know, you're allowed to put any number of lands in your deck, right?
That's pretty bad. All right, move it up.
This is a 3-cost follower. It's called Levin Scholar. We're Levin Gaming, guys. We're so back. Digital gamers, rise up. This has fanfare. Search your deck for 11 follower, reveal it, and add it to your hand. And it's a 3/3. It's adding some good archetype support for an archetype that is currently not supported.
Well, it doesn't exist. Yeah, the archetype doesn't exist.
I don't know if there is another 11 follower that's been printed. I didn't check in
There's
this
3.
set.
There's Urius, Geno, and Albert.
I was like, Fina's not 11, right? Yeah. Is this what they do instead of Academy, or do they later do Academy too?
Academy, they do. They've never done Levin after this.
They never do Levin after
They
this?
haven't. They haven't. I think next set in JP will, because they're gonna do the Dark Albert. You know, I don't know. We don't need time. I mean, that's 2 years. No one's gonna be playing this game, so it doesn't matter.
Nobody's playing
Can I
this
just
game
give
now,
this an F
so-
already?
No one's playing this game now. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to rate it, just like they forgot to design it.
Oh God! Next card here. Is this pressure? I
I
think.
think it's you, right?
Oh, is it me?
You.
Whatever. All right, 2-drop spell, boys. Break, neck, draw. Engage the Swordcraft follower on your field. Select the enemy follower on the field and destroy it.
She's playing Fruit Ninja in the art.
True.
Those of you listening.
I'm pretty. Wait, what? Engage the Swordcraft follower on the field. Select an enemy follower on the field and destroy it. I mean, finally, my 1/1 token that I made from Floor Fencer can kill something. I don't know. Card seems okay-ish. I'm not super excited for this card. I don't know. You guys have any better input than that?
I think I'm like, I don't know. This is so underwhelming.
I think it's pretty good. I think it's it's in the same deck you'd play Antiquity in, and I think it's the better card in that deck. So I'm gonna give it a B.
I think it's one of the only cards that lets you get to Antiquity that they really have access to. It's just, it's such a cost that I don't think, like, I'm not putting this in my court dance.
I mean, this is obviously like a control tool, right? So we're playing more of the mid to late game type of sword stuff. So obviously you'd be considering in those decks.
I was just gonna say it answers Fairy Dragon. And
True. It answers Fairy Dragons on 2. All right, boys.
Wow,
Sword.
we
cracked sword. We cracked sword. S plus here.
Like actually, we're joking, but like seriously, it's actually a pretty good answer to Fairy Dragon, because it's either if you go first, you just play something on 1, or no, well, if you go second, you play something on 1.
Yeah, it usually doesn't get answered.
If you go first, it's even better, because you can just do 1-drop play this on like to straight up answer. You don't have to prep it, or like prepare. So I was wrong. There is an answer, and it's actually not even that like bad of one. But I don't know. You're not probably maybe. I don't know. I might have to cook something up. I might have to
like literally at the end of the day, if this card is in your deck, you're playing a control sword deck for the late game win. Like that's the only way I see this card being played, essentially. Because if you're in an aggro deck, obviously in some scenarios you're willing to waste an attack essentially to get rid of like Fairy Dragon here in this case. So it's a relatively powerful 2-drop essentially. You give up an attack, you play this, and you can just destroy for 2 play points. And giving up attack, you can destroy anything essentially that doesn't have aura, which is nice. It's like part of the reason you feel okay with like whatever limited control tools Sword has, because I feel like this is one of the only few cards in Sword that just like straight up reads destroy that follower, that isn't like some other follower that's like costs like 6+ play points to play, right? Do you have anything else that's like really, really good at this cost?
No.
I'm with you on that. I think anything that says destroy a follower point blank has a certain floor to it.
Yeah, I think worst case scenario too, just that is like this is technically if you have nothing on board, is like a 3 cost removal spell, right? You play some follower that you can't swing with it anyway this turn. That costs 1. You play this, remove the big threat out of the way, and then you're kind of Gucci from there. All right, anything else to add? Otherwise, we're going to close this up.
The results of the poll from our last set review are in. Team Shepard came in for the win, destroying the Prussia gang. So good job, everybody.
He commented once on the private video.
Supreme Shepard.
Everybody's off the count.
Shout out to Supreme Shepard winners out there. Insane gaming out here. All right, guys, here's our Twitter, X accounts, whatever. Make sure to follow all of us. Tell us we are all bad at this game as always. We love the hate comments. Comment below how we are the worst channel in existence and the worst people in existence. No, I have not gotten the hate comments on my videos.
I keep commenting hate, and Kit keeps deleting it. It's very frustrating.
The most hatred is in the videos when we
we are the most hated in this video because we hate each other here.
Whoa. I love my friends personally. I just found out they hate me, and that hurts. We were all gamers here.
Listen, we're gamers because we hate each other.
You tell me fucking Grand Acquisition is the worst card in the game, and I have to go on a 5-minute rant about
defending the Mill 3. All right.
Yeah. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. We appreciate your views and just hanging out with us and listening to us. Shepard and Prussia, thanks for joining as always. You guys want to say goodbye before I end this video?
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later, everyone.